I'm about to travel 300 miles across Japan, twice. Once on a train doing 175 miles an hour, and once on a plane doing considerably more than that. The question is simple, which one's actually quicker? The answer isn't as straightforward.
This is the start line and the finish line for today's crazy adventure, the Conrad Hotel here in downtown Tokyo. It's pretty much halfway between the airport over there and the train station over there, making it the perfect spot for today's race. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, the sun is just creeping above the horizon, and it's time to head to the train station for the first part of today's adventure because I've got a train to catch. Alright, got everything, wallet, phone, key, yeah, all of those right. Okay, let's go, let's get to the train station. Right, let's head downstairs, see if we can get a taxi to the train station. There's so many elevators in this hotel, it's crazy. Can I get a taxi, please? Thank you.
Where is your destination?
Tokyo train station.
Tokyo train station to the Shinkansen?
Shinkansen, yes, thank you. Thank you.
And with that, leg one of the stupidest idea I'd had all week was underway. A 10-minute ride from the hotel, and I'd made it to the station.
Thank you, have a good day. Arigato. Thank you. Alright, made it to Tokyo train station. First stop today to get the Shinkansen. We're off to Osaka, the third biggest city here in Japan. It's about 300 miles from here, and it is one of the busiest transport routes in the whole country, so it's the perfect place to figure out what's quickest. We've got to go and navigate a Japanese train station now, though. Not always the easiest thing to do. Alright, so the Shinkansen line is this way. Hopefully this is where I need to be. Okay, I don't know which one I want. There's Tohoku, Jotsu, Hokuriko Shinkansen is that way, and Tokaido Shinkansen is that way. Which one is the Osaka Shinkansen? I don't know. I've no idea. Right, good job I checked. I just checked Gemini. Apparently that's for the north lines going up to the snowy country. We want the Tokaido Shinkansen, which is this way. Let's go and try and get through. Right, that was a lot easier than last time. I've got a ticket now, and we're off to Osaka. We want track 15, the 809 train, that's on we're on. So there is a Shinkansen train heading down to Osaka, leaving roughly every 10 to 15 minutes throughout the day. One every 10 to 15 minutes. It's crazy. The flights are almost as frequent as that as well, as we'll find out later on today. It's just crazy how much traffic they have going between one city and another that's 300 miles away. 307 Nozomi service on the Shinkansen bullet train. I'm excited. The Nozomi is the fastest service on the line. No messing about with local stops. This thing goes like the clappers all the way down to Osaka. It turned out it was pretty comfy on board too. Journey one of the day, the Shinkansen bullet train, all the way down to Osaka. It's about 2.5 hours, I think, down there, like door to door from here all the way down. This is quite comfy actually. This is the green car, which isn't green, it's beige, but it's quite nice. We've got big comfy seats, we've got little reading lights above them, we've got loads of leg room just here, little footrest thing there, tray table in front of us and everything. Very, very nice. And it's pretty fast too. I think this thing does like 200 mile an hour all the way down there to Osaka. So yeah, hopefully we get some good views with a window seat. Let's see what views we get on the way down. Oh, and the seats are heated as well, because apparently doing 200 miles an hour wasn't luxurious enough. With my backside suitably heated, it was soon time to get on our way. Alrighty then, right on time to the second 1 hour and 7 minutes since I left the hotel. We're on the train, we've left Tokyo, heading down to Osaka. This thing accelerates so quick, it really pushes you back in your seat. It's crazy.
Welcome to the Shinkansen. This is the Nozomi Super Express, bound to Shin Osaka.
As we left Tokyo, we were absolutely flying along as we cruised along the coastline all the way down to Osaka. And by flying, I mean on rails, which, as it turned out, might actually be the fastest option, but we'll get back to that later.
Oh, thank you.
We were tanking along now, 175 mph through rice fields, towns, and the kind of scenery that'd make for a lovely, relaxing journey, if you weren't racing yourself across the country, that is. We are flying along now, 175 miles an hour. We're doing now, tanking through the Japanese countryside, and I just got my first view of Mount Fuji out in front of us. This is so cool. With the majestic Mount Fuji out of the window, I ordered myself a fairly sensible breakfast using their website. A few minutes later, my sensible breakfast turned up. The gentleman opposite, though, had other ideas. 10 cans of Asahi before 9 AM. What an absolute legend. Alright, my food's turned up. Went for a little carton of ice cream. Some OJ, or plum juice as it's called here in Japan, and of course, being in Japan, they don't call it Fiji water, it's Fuji water, like the big hill that we just went past out there. And yeah, it just takes a few minutes. You order it on the app, and then they come around and you pay for it when they get here, and it's cost like, I think, about $10 or so for this lot. Not too bad. The ice cream, though, was frozen solid. Apparently, even at 175 miles an hour, physics still applies. Still, at least the scenery was cooperating. Endless countryside absolutely whizzing past the window, and not a single piece of graffiti in sight. One thing I'm noticing here is that there's no graffiti anywhere. Anywhere else in the world you go on a train line, there'd be like spray painted stuff all up the sides of the railway lines and on the sides of buildings and everything. There's nothing here at all. I've not seen a single piece of graffiti anywhere since we left Tokyo. I mean, isn't that amazing? Japan is such a clean country, and it amazes me every single time how they managed to nail that. Like, crazy. 2 hours in, and the Japanese countryside was starting to give way to proper urban sprawl. We were approaching the city of Nagoya, one of several stops this service makes on its way down to Osaka. Japan's 4th largest city, and it's a proper industrial powerhouse. Right, this is Nagoya Station. We're getting further into this journey. We've been rolling now for 2 hours and 46 minutes as we get to this stage, and I think we're about 2/3 of the way through the journey. We've got to stop, I think, one more stop before we get to Osaka, and then we run to the finish line for the first leg and the start line of the next leg. The landscape between Nagoya and Kyoto is where the Shinkansen really opens up the taps. Long stretches of countryside where there's nothing to slow you down, just pure speed across the Japanese landscape. It was also pretty snowy down here as we got into the higher terrain of Western Japan. Alright, 3 hours and 19 minutes after we set off, we've just pulled into Kyoto, the penultimate stop. This city used to be the capital city of Japan, right up until the 1800s, and then it moved across to Tokyo, where it is now. I guess Kyoto, Tokyo. It's kind of like the same word, just muddled up into it. This was it then, the final stretch into Osaka, and the moment I stepped off this train, the clock would be ticking. No time for sightseeing, no time for a wander. Straight to the finish line, stop the clock, turn around and start leg 2. The pressure was on. Right, before I get to Osaka and start panicking about whether I can actually beat this time, well, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Airalo. You're watching me sprint across Japan twice in one day, and the last thing I needed while doing that was to faff about looking for a SIM card kiosk or getting slapped with massive roaming charges. That's where Airalo saved my bacon. Airalo's the world's first eSIM store, basically digital SIM cards for over 200 countries. No hunting for a tiny shop in the airport, no queuing, no fumbling with those tiny little plastic cards that you inevitably drop on the floor or down the side of your seat. You just download the app, buy a data plan for wherever you're going, and you get sorted. Now for this trip, I installed Japan's eSIM while I was still on the hotel on Wi-Fi, and the second I landed at Haneda, I was connected, which meant I could immediately check Google Maps, order a taxi, and not waste precious seconds trying to find airport Wi-Fi that may or may not work. It usually doesn't. When you're racing across a country and every minute counts, being connected the instant you step off the plane is absolutely essential. So if you travel, and I'm assuming if you watch this channel you probably do, then you need Airalo. Download the free app, use my code NoelPhillips3 to get $3 off your first eSIM. The link's in the description. Trust me, it'll save you a massive headache next time you land somewhere new. Anyway, let's get back on the train and let's get to Osaka.
We will arrive at Shin Osaka Terminal.
Alrighty then, welcome to Osaka. I need to get to the subway now, and not the sandwich shop, the actual subway where you get on trains. So we've got to get across the city to the finish line. So apparently I want the Mido Sushi line to somewhere called Namba. We're heading to a place called the Running Man, which is quite apt today because I feel like I'm the running man. Right, following the red line to get to the red line, the Mido Sushi line. Sushi sounds lovely. Now I seem to remember getting subways in Japan is a bit difficult. When I got the one in Tokyo, they don't even take credit cards. Well, the ones up there don't anyway. Don't know whether they do here. Gemini reckons that they might. I just have to tap my phone and it should work. I don't know. We'll see.
But it seems the ticket gates would have other ideas.
I just need a ticket for the subway. Does the card? Can I tap my card?
Yeah, of course. Oh, wait.
It's a MasterCard.
Oh, yeah, it's fine with this one. It's fine.
Yes, so where do I tap?
At the gate, you will see a place like this.
Oh, okay. So that one there, the little blue one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look. Thank you.
Mercifully, this gate was more cooperative.
Okay, I'm through. It seems I was at the wrong gate. You have to go to one that takes credit cards, not one that takes passes. But I'm through. I need to go to platform 1 or 2, which I think is up here. And then we've got to get to Namba. I think it's this line here for this side, going to Nakamozu. We're going to Namba, which is on the way to Nakamozu. Oh, on another note, by the way, look how everybody lines up for the subway over here. Compared to like the London Underground or the New York Metro or something where everybody just plows on board. It's like really nice little lines. I like this.
Osaka's subway system is brilliantly efficient. It's also rammed at 10:30 on a Saturday morning. And when you're in a hurry and crammed in like a sardine, you do start questioning your life choices.
No, this is the right train. It's absolutely rammed. Hopefully we're going in the right direction. I know, we'll figure it out.
Miraculously, I had got on the right train, one step closer to the finish line, now to find my running man.
Already made it to Namba. And now we head to the Running Man. You know what? That wasn't too difficult. Down here in Osaka, you can just tap your credit card on the machines and it lets you through. It's so much easier. Right, apparently now we're heading for a place called Shishu-shashi. Yes, that is a real place where this Running Man is.
This place is, well, it's certainly something.
Now, this is my second time coming to Japan. This is like the most Japanese place I've ever been to. It just looks so Japanese. Oh my word, I think I found him. I think I found the Running Man. Here he is, look. Oh, we've made it. Did it all on my own as well. Look at that, look. 4 hours, 5 minutes, 7 seconds, 12 seconds. And there he is. The Running Man, we made it. 4 hours and 5 minutes to get here by train on the Shinkansen. Apparently, apparently this is a huge tourist attraction. People come from miles around to come and see a Running Man sign. I don't understand it. Everybody's walking around taking photos of it. There's boats going past, full of people taking photos of it. I don't know. Anyway, time to get back to the airport. And now it's the turn of the plane. It goes at twice the speed, but will it get us there twice as fast? Well, now we've got to find out. 4 hours and 5 minutes to beat. Let's start the timer. Right, the race is on. Let's get to the airport. There's 2 airports here in Osaka. There's Kansai, which is the one that's like artificially built on an island. That's like the big international airport. But then there's a domestic airport as well called Itami. And that's the one we're flying from today up to Tokyo. I think first of all, we need to grab a taxi and see if they take, there's a few taxis here. So let's see if we can jump in one. Hello, take card? Yep. Konnichiwa. To Itami Airport. Itami? Itami? Yeah, airport, yes.
Itami Airport.
Itami.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Osaka's a city that really commits to its signage. Giant crabs, massive puffer fish, illuminated everything, and, well, then there's this place. They really don't like bald people in Osaka, apparently. Pretty soon, though, we were arriving at Itami Airport, home to one end of one of the world's busiest flight routes.
so much.
Arigato. Thank you very much. Have a good day. You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Alright, then made it to Itami Airport, the domestic airport here in Osaka. Let's go and get inside and get through for our flight back to Tokyo. 20 minutes and 8 seconds and we're at the airport. Now comes the waiting game. So theoretically, the plane is quicker. It runs at twice the speed, 400 miles an hour instead of the 200 we've just been doing on that train. However, we have to hang around for the plane. We have the whole thing about boarding it and all the rest of it, and then we've got to, of course, get back to the hotel from Haneda Airport when we get to the other end. So it could be closer than we think. I don't know. We'll see. The first thing we didn't have to do, though, for the train is go through security.
First things first though, time to get undressed. Belt off, shoes off, laptops out, liquids in a bag and the ever-present threat of a latex glove if you look at them a bit funny. The Shinkansen doesn't make you do any of this, you just walk on.
Alrighty, 29 minutes, 54 seconds after leaving the running mamma in the airport, through security, undressed, redressed, shoes off, shoes back on, everything out, laptops out and everything over here. You can't leave your laptop in your bag here like you can at home, but it's okay, it was still pretty quick, but we're here. Apparently I've been told to check out the nice buns at Osaka Airport, so that's what I'm going to go and try and do now. Let's go see what we can find. Find a nice set of buns to get me through until the flight.
So I couldn't find any buns airside. Apparently that place is landside and I'm already through security. However, there is something very Japanese called takoyaki, which is like apparently like fried balls of goo. I don't know what it is. It's worrying me a little bit. It's moving on my plate. Is it supposed to do that? That is weird. Is it? What is it? I don't even know if this is supposed to do this. I went for a small portion. I don't know what it's going to be like, but let's give it a go. It's not offensive. It's a bit chewy. It's like creamy with a bit of chewy stuff in the middle. It's a little bit fishy, like fishy, cheesy fish. I'm still concerned what these moving things are on the top, but they're quite tasty, whatever they are. Let's just call it cheesy fish. I probably don't want to know what sort of fish it is, whether it's even alive or not, but it tastes all right. For airport food anyway. Still got about an hour until the plane leaves. We're up to 54 minutes and now I'm just hanging around. This is the worst part about the plane segment. We just have to sort of wait. It's not like I can just get on any plane. Although there are a lot of planes. I mentioned earlier on that there is one train every 10 minutes down here between Tokyo and Osaka. There's a flight about every 30 minutes up to Tokyo from here. It is a crazy, crazy solid route. Between ANA and Japan Airlines, they fly at least once every hour and like in between as well. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Pretty much every flight out of here is going up to Tokyo. That explains like just how busy it is, doesn't it really? But of course it's a flight, so you have to book a specific one. You can't just rock up and get on the first one that you find like you can with the train. That's the only issue. Now we have to wait for our plane to take us back up to Tokyo. Tokyo to Osaka is one of the 10 busiest air routes on the planet. Over 50 flights a day, mostly 767s and 787s from JAL and ANA. In the morning rush hour, there's 5 wide-body departures in under an hour. Every hour, like clockwork, another plane loads up with 200-odd people and blasts off to Tokyo. It's absolutely mental, and yet I was still sat around waiting for mine.
Right, we're at 2 hours and 17 minutes. Plane's finally here, we should be getting on in a minute. And then getting back to Tokyo. 4 hours and 5 is the time to beat. Do we reckon we can do it? Can we get there in 2 hours from here? We've not even boarded yet, I don't know, we'll see.
And so I'd made it to the gate, the passengers were getting off, everything running to schedule. Even Lady Gaga made it on time. Things were looking good for beating my time on the train. But then, this happened.
So just what we didn't lead there. A delay. No idea what time we're going to get back if we're actually going to beat it. I don't know. So apparently there's an aircraft maintenance issue now. Basically the plane's broke and that's why we're delayed. Right, 2 hours, 54 minutes. Let's go. Hello, Right, here we go. Right to the back. Right, on board, seat 40A. It's literally the only window seat that was left when I booked this flight. It's crazy. Lesson learned. If ever you book a flight in Japan, window seats are like rocking horse poo. They get booked like instantly anywhere. The Japanese love a window seat. Fortunately, this was a 767 originally, and then yesterday they changed it to a 787, which means that 40 became available. So I managed to snag it. It does mean I'm sitting a bit away from the window, and there is like a massive walk to the front of the plane at the end as well when it's time to get off. So I'm going to be literally one of the last ones off, but we're on the plane. We've got a window. Am I going back to Tokyo? 2 hours and 56 minutes. Come on, let's get out of here.
Now, the 787's a lovely bit of kit, don't get me wrong, but when you're wedged into seat 40A, roughly 7 miles from the nearest window, it's not quite as relaxing as the Shinkansen's heated seats and footrests. Still, we were moving, finally.
We're at 3 hours, 11 minutes. We're pushing back from the gate. This is going to be tight. It's about a 40-minute ride, I think.
Finally, we were on our way, crammed in like sardines at the back of a 787, but at least it would only be 40 minutes up to Tokyo. The train had taken 2.5 hours. Surely the plane could claw back sometime, surely?
Alright, there we are, airport from Osaka, heading north. About a 40-minute ride. Back up to Tokyo now. Let's hope we get a decent tailwind.
Still, at least the scenery would be good. I was looking forward to those views of Mount Fuji, but from 30,000 feet. But alas, it turned out that the train might have had the better view. That's just a cloud. Brilliant. But Tokyo, on the other hand, well, that was worth the window seat. The sprawl of the city stretching out forever, Tokyo Tower poking up through the haze, and then we absolutely planted it down onto Haneda Airport's runway.
Alrighty then, let's see how long this takes to get back to the hotel. I think getting a taxi is going to be quicker than waiting for an Uber. So the taxi should be waiting outside, and it should be pretty much the same price as well. So let's see.
Haneda is a big airport, really big, like properly enormous. It probably took me longer to walk from the gate to the taxi rank than it did to fly from Osaka. Not ideal when I was on a time crunch.
Right, taxi, where are they? Oh, right, taxi line, it's just here. Okay, cool. Konnichiwa. To Conrad Hotel.
The race was on. 25 minutes across Tokyo now in rush hour traffic. Every red light felt like an eternity. Could I actually beat 4 hours and 5 minutes? It was going to be tight. Really tight.
Thank you.
Arigato. Thank you very much. Oh, we made it and stopped the clock. Back at the Conrad, the finish line, we did it. So the times, the train, all the way down to Osaka took me to get from here to the Running Man, 4 hours, 5 minutes and 20 seconds. The time for the plane, 5 hours, 8 minutes, 23 seconds. Exactly 1 hour, 3 minutes slower on the plane than on the train. So I think we've got our lesson learned here, haven't we? If you want to travel in comfort and style and enjoy amazing sights, take the train. If you want to go flying across the country at high speed and get there an hour faster, well, also take the train. So on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. I can't believe that the train won.